Episode 200.
365.
What's that?
365. It's our year anniversary.
Episode 2, bro. Episode 2. I like the thought process. I do like the thought process. The Thicc Pod, your home for all things sports, cards, levity. Sports, cards, levity.
Levity.
And Butters.
And Butters.
Welcome, Butters. I am Jeremy, Reckless Cards, joined as always by Manny B and Manny 6.9. Good evening. Happy Friday, young man.
What's up? What's up? I'm so excited for this live. We are listened to by the millions.
And millions.
Let's go. I'm pumped. We decided we wanted to do a live because we love the interaction of our Too Thick fam. I like when they troll me. So we're like, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. There's been news in the hobby. Let's get started, Jeremy.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You do the Sunday night or we do NBA Finals night or auction ending night. Those are not the nights to do it. So we'll try the Friday night.
Yes.
I was ready to party at about lunchtime today, but I had to hold off knowing that we had the prestigious episode tonight. So I held off. So I'm ready to get through this episode and go enjoy my Friday night.
There you go. There you go. What are you doing? What are you doing after the podcast?
Probably in my mind, like I'm gonna watch a movie, do something fun, but I'll probably drink half a beer, fall asleep, and go to bed.
I can see it. Because you're a bachelor right now, right?
I am a bachelor for the evening. Courtney is with the kids in the Chicagoland area. So I'm just chilling, enjoying Michigan. And it was one of those things too, where we committed to this. And of course, then all the homies were like, hey, let's go out and do something Friday night. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Come by the house. You guys can sit in and then you guys can, we'll go out afterwards.
Our man, Jason. What's up, Jason? How are you? He's been waiting for a week to listen to your voice, Jeremy.
That's my guy. I'm excited. We're going to be doing some stuff with Jason. We had to get through this. We had the week of hell. You know, the death flu ran to the house. Then we had this week, and I know Courtney on her to-do list. Number 1 or number 2 is reach out to one Jason from DCI. And so I'm excited to knock that out.
Isn't it crazy? Jason knows everyone in the hobby. You ask people who runs DCI, they're all saying Jason. So, I mean, I see DCI in Lansing card shows sometimes. So I'm like, yep, Jason's put his hands on these cards.
There may or may not be some DCI slabs coming to a Reckless booth near you soon.
Woo! Nasty. Can't wait. Those old labels are legit.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got the cards. You've got cards in hand, so you've got to see them. I haven't had the opportunity to experience them firsthand.
Yep. What's up, Matt? What's up? How are you doing tonight? Mr. Franz Wagner collector all of a sudden. Piece of shit.
Well, tell them how you really feel, man. What's with the hatred with Franz? I just bought a Franz.
I know you did. You're a trader too.
How am I a trader?
Because you're buying Michigan slabs knowing how much I hate them.
I don't care. I don't care. I didn't go to school around here. I don't care about your petty little rivalry.
Oh, it's not. You
guys are both second-tier schools to Ohio State anyway, so I'm not sure why it matters.
Not in basketball.
Okay. Okay, you have your little Flintstones, whatever, dude.
All right, you got to explain what Franz. The reason I brought it up because I know you told me about this Franz. You got to tell the people what Franz card did you buy, and should I be saying that you're the next Blez?
Well, the hobby is alive. The hobby is alive. Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing shirtless yoga, pumping my P. Will collection. And quite honestly, until you told me he collected Franz, I had no idea. And it's no hate towards him. It's just other than the hobby is alive, I really don't know anything about the guy. Yeah. Isn't he like a series of brothers who's a breaker in Vegas or something like that? Or like I'm not entirely sure.
I think they own their own hobby shop too.
Do they?
There, yeah, when you went to Vegas.
Well, maybe he does. So no hate from me. I didn't know. Well, maybe I can shuffle him a Franz. We've been very vocal about, our strategy has been buying football and then at National to rid ourselves of football. And chatting with 504, he was looking at cards through like, hey, who is somebody that I can buy, I can invest in, and then potentially flip. And so he had provided, a list of people that he was interested in. And so we chatted, and I was just like, really talking like philosophy, the way I look at things.
Yeah.
And going through that process, he started sending me cards. I started looking at cards, and one popped up. And one popped up. Hey, Amelia is a swimmer, so not synchronized swimming. She's just whipping that ass in the 50 freestyle. But we started chatting about these cards, and it just so happened like it's one of those things where I would never even looked at a Franz card. Yeah. But because I was looking at Franz cards, they were popping up everywhere. And Dave at Extraordinary Cards had one, and we've done some deals with him before. And I reached out looking for a Miguel Cabrera game used card with the auto because that's nice and easy flip. All right, cool. Nice and easy flip here in the Michigan area. I saw the Franz and I inquired, and he gave me a number that I just seemed really stupid cheap.
Yeah.
I did some research. I pulled the trigger, and so I've got a Franz NT gold first off the line out of 24 coming in.
That's awesome. The player, I don't know, but it's a good player. I would admit, good player. The team's young. There's a little bit of hype around Orlando with Paulo being there. So I mean, I like it. I don't like that 504s collecting them out of nowhere, but it is what it is.
Well, we were talking, and I think it is we were talking, so we've known 504, essentially as far as I'm concerned, as long as like we've done social media in the hobby. Yep. We've known 504, whether it was like Discord fire sales, whatnot,
everywhere,
Instagram lives from way back. And so when we were chatting, it was kind of cool to see the evolution of people's collections and what they're getting into. And remembering when we were all kind of playing in that like $5 to $50 sandbox and like $100 card was a big deal to where we're both at right now. And so one thing that we were chatting about, and 504, you can tell me to stop if you want. But I think what you're going through is very valuable, and a lot of other folks is you start buying cards that everything's for a PC, and then you kind of get stuck. Like none of us have limitless funds. Like we need some money to be able to play. And so kind of, I believe, or at least my understanding of what 504 is trying to do is like, hey, how can I buy some cards that I'm going to be able to flip so I can continue to buy like superfractors of Derek Carr and or like all the wrestling superfractors and the golds that he's buying, because that takes some coin. And so he went through and he looked at a bunch of basketball players. But the reason I say that is the hobby's been absolutely bananas the last month or so, and it just seems like everybody's taking sides with people. Everybody's got strong opinions about the way people collect. And to me, if there wasn't that level of people who are starting out where you're just gonna have to deal with the dog.
Is he humping the couch?
No, he just he digs the carpet to lay down in it. And because I'm the bachelor, there's nobody to hold the dogs. And so what'll inevitably happen is the big dog, the St. Bernard, will come in and like she's gonna do something, like she gets annoyed and she'll swipe at him with a paw, and then he'll just find another spot to dig at. So you're probably gonna hear that again. But lost my whole train of thought. No. So anyway, so I think in the space, and you're gonna have to probably pull me off my soapbox. Like if you want to collect TCG, I think it's cool you collect TCG. If you want to collect 80s cards, that's cool. You want to collect refractors. Like we talked with what's her face, Cindy Dix, and she collects pre 1950s women's athlete cards, and such a badass cool story. So any way you want to operate in the space, I think is cool, as long as you're you're respectful and kind to other people. And so I say all that because I feel like ourselves and 504 kind of came up at the same time. Mm-hmm. So we were playing with similar, we weren't looking at golds and RPAs and stuff like that. And through education, through people taking the time, and I think 504 does a really good job of whether it's Drake helping him with wrestling, or Brett, or whatever he's going into, or Wes with F1, sharing about the education. You're out of your damn mind. There is a leather, what they call the casting couch. I'm looking at a 200-pound St. Bernard digging. I wish I could flip the camera. But you know, like through education and through relationships, you know, we've all like leveled up and we've leaned on each other. And like, I think it's important that as you level up, it like I don't understand why people become hateful or
Yep.
they act stupid about what somebody else is collecting because we were those people.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
so
not even people like
I think it's important that we educate them and show them like how there's a path, like the cool cards that you have, the cool cards that 504 and some of the other people have. I mean, outside of Jason, Jason's got serious, serious damn coin.
yeah.
We all went through that and were able to build up a bankroll by flipping cards and being able to buy the things that we like.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you even have Jason too. Like he kind of gets, and I love when he like backs it on Twitter too. But they try to make fun of him because he's ripping the random stuff like NASCAR, all these like cheaper products, but it's something that he likes, and he gets some good hits. Like he's found a PC where he's been picking up those Sabrina cards because she's a baller, and he got to meet her at the mint. That's kind of sick.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, if you're buying cards to sell cards, there's more women in the hobby than there, or at least they feel comfortable enough to be a little more vocal than maybe they were in the past.
Oh, all the women in the hobby are type A personalities that scare me, aka Courtney.
Courtney's fine. You don't got to worry about her.
Oh, she scares me.
I understand why you're scared of her, but she's nothing. She's nothing. She's fine. I got her. I keep her in check.
Yeah.
But check this out. Like, I don't want to say I stole this, but along the same, like, here's the thing. A Nafisa Collier Far Out Gold.
Yeah.
This just popped. I picked this up for, like, nothing because it was somebody was like, oh, it's WNBA.
Yep.
And so, like, it's not like $1 million card, but like raw, they're probably like 40 to 75 bucks. It's varied a little bit. And as a PSA 10, why not? And to Jason's point,
we got to pick this apart. The dude said he ripped 5K of Leaf baseball. He's on a different tier than all of us.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: go to Reckless Cards eBay right now, and you're gonna see a bunch of Leaf stuff that I picked up in a lot. Yeah. I bought somebody's table out and had a bunch of those like Pop Century, like Tommy Hilfiger cards, Kanye West cards, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, didn't think anything of it. Like I assigned zero value to those things, and I've got like 4 or 5 of them up on auction. A majority of them are like have the highest bids, the most watchers, and the most activity.
Oh yeah, people love it.
And through whether it's Courtney doing Dangerous or Women of the Hobby or just being a little more open to what people are doing, TCG, there's so many different avenues or ways that you can be in this space. You can make money flipping cards. And so, you know what? You do $5 to $50 cards, you do a bunch of that money adds up real quick. It's not as sexy as an Instagram post where I bought a burrow from this guy and sold it 2 seconds later to make 4K and then laugh at the people I got over on. Like, it's not sexy like that, but it's sustainable, it's safe, and you mitigate a lot of risk.
Man, speaking of 504, he could have gotten over on me. Did I ever tell you that I wanted his Charles Leclerc refractor? He had a PSA 10, and they were going for like $1,200, and he wouldn't sell it to me. And jokes on him, it went down. But he could have sold it to me at one. He wouldn't sell it to me. So that was like the first time we actually like talked was that Charles Leclerc. So I've always known him as that's a high end card, right? So, yeah. But he got it cheap, so he's smart about it. Must have talked to Wes, right?
Maybe. Now I will say, like full disclosure and being completely transparent while chatting with Matt, I'm like, my strategy is football up until national.
Oh yeah.
I expect outside of national, outside of like a card or two, to no longer have any football in the Zion case and then switch back over to basketball. However, when we're looking at this, I've been flexible. You already got all your flowers and stuff, Court. So I already went to bat for you. Manny talked a grip of shit, and I defended your honor.
No.
What happens with the strategy is like when that Franz popped up, at a price point like that, being able to adjust and pivot on the fly is pretty damn. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. I stress it to you. Like when you broke that case of TCG and you were doing it the Brandon way, it's like if you have a game, it's cool if you have a plan, but you have to stick to it. And when you were like, hey, I'm only going to grade some of this now, like the whole thing was getting it graded so you could be first to market.
Yep.
It defeats the whole point of doing a plan half-ass if you're not going to stick to a T.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Look what you started. No, we said that the women in the hobby are type A personalities. And I said, and I'm scared of Courtney and her type A personality. And Jeremy says that you don't have to worry about Courtney. He'll put her in a headlock.
And your dog Amber jumped on the casting couch and was doing like some weird hump dig thing.
But no, so I wanted to bring, because I did call you about this and I wanted to talk about it. Everyone is talking about, like you said, everyone's talking about buying football, and let's all sell at the National. I've seen, I don't know who it was, but it's a very big influencer saying buy football now to sell at the National. If everyone's selling football at the National, who's the buyers? If I'm a dealer and I hear all this, I'm not buying football at the National. I'm not. I'm selling football. So I'm a little nervous, and I kind of asked you about this because you're buying, like you said, you're buying football, right? Mm-hmm. So I wanted to bring it up to you. I'm in the TCG world. How do you feel if everyone's saying buy football now, sell at the National? It seems like everyone's trying to get ahead of the game, that it's just kind of flooding the game, if that makes any sense.
So what I've done is two things. Like we have hedged in a way where the football cards that we're buying, I feel like they're football cards. They're going to end up with an end user, like a collector. Yes. Something that like, you know, like what she's talking about, that Burrow popped. Somebody wants Gem Plus Burrow numbered to 10.
See, that's different though. That's a rare.
Correct. But also we play in a space where we're taking on good brands of quarterbacks and or one or two premier wide receivers that we can also, if things get dicey, we can flip to the repack guys.
Yes. That's
I'm not going with like a BGS 9 Zenith, you know, Cooper Cup numbered out of 50 card.
Yep.
The one caveat for us would be in Detroit, you can get away with Amon-Ra, Jamison Williams, and Aiden Hutchinson because of the local presence.
Correct.
Otherwise, it becomes very selective in what you're doing. Additionally, with everybody chasing football, you kind of saw where T-Law's prices jumped, Fields' prices jumped, and everybody jumped down. All of a sudden, everybody's chasing Ritter. Everybody's chasing these second-tier quarterbacks. And so you have to be that much more selectful. So I thought, and it might hold true. It might just be a little wave. I thought I was going to be able to make it till National just solely looking at football. However, some of the basketball stuff that I was looking at has become just stupid cheap.
Yes.
Stupid cheap. And people, because everybody's trying to get football and get out in front of it, I've had an opportunity to pick up some awesome basketball. Did we lose Manny?
Nope. I'm saying hi to I'm over here while you're talking, interacting with our viewers. So
I just like scoop this up. Halliburton out of 10.
Yes.
Rookie, like pop 2 or pop 3 or something like that. The guy who sold it, great deal, easy to work with. The value he assigned to it was, I felt like he could have got a lot more, but he didn't want to. Yep. He didn't want to hold. He wanted football right now.
Yep.
And so he was willing to give up a lot to get into a Justin Fields camo out of 25.
Correct.
Which is awesome. And like, you know, one thing that I told you, and like I've just been telling Courtney, and I completely understand why Extraordinary operates that way, is I absolutely love trading down.
Yes.
Like I am full bore between now and National. If I can trade down all football when it's at its peak and trade into basketball when it's down, of players and products that, you know, come October when basketball starts back up again.
Yep.
That would just be incredibly ideal.
Can I say something about trading down, though, for the people that are watching? Trading down, and tell me if I'm wrong, helps though mostly if you're a dealer at shows, because my thought process is when you trade down, you're getting a little bit more value because you have to put in the work to sell these cards. If you're not willing to put in the work to sell the cards, like for example, Reckless Cards, they go to shows almost every weekend. So it helps them out to trade down. So that's why some people like to trade up, because they don't want to sell anything. So in his perspective, this is me, tell me if I'm wrong, you like trading down because you're at the show. And it's easier. It's not easier, but you could kind of sell the cards. You could put in the work.
So let's say I can take $1,000 card that I'm into, let's say for $500. Like I'm into it for $500. I take $1,000 card. I pick up $1,200 to $1,300 of value.
Yes.
In a perfect world, a couple of clean, and I hate the word clean, but like, for hobby chat, clean raw cards that I can grade where there's some additional upside.
Correct.
Hopefully I'm picking up cards when they're at an absolute bottom, knowing that just the natural trajectory of like a hobby cycle that they'll go back up. That's perfect. Unfortunately, sometimes you say trading down, and I will to BST, big cards do have a small market. It is incredibly difficult to move 4-figure cards if you don't have the network, or if you're unwilling to sell it like 70%.
Yes.
Yeah, I appeal too. This card presents nicely. But if you can get in that $50 to $200 range, to $500 exactly, you move cards all day.
Yes.
Now, where it gets goofy and like it's like you have this generation, like, and I'm going to age myself, but you have this generation of kids who come in and they think the cool thing is to rip you off.
Yep.
Beat the shit out of you, get something for $200 and sell it for X amount, and then come back and throw it in your face. Yeah, I've been to the point where these people I don't even want to deal with. I'm also like, I understand, like I can go directly to the repack, whether it's like Hit Parade or some of the people, some like, TNT, where I can sell it 85 to 90%. However, if you're kind, I'm willing to, come down and, sell it less.
For sure.
What gets goofy is when you have $1,000 card and somebody tries to give you $900 worth of $20 cards. That doesn't make any sense, because that's a tremendous amount of work and effort. So like, you have to be able to pick up value, and in your mind, you have to be able to know that you can move those cards.
Yes. That was the problem. And this is my end. That's why I said it's easier when it's not easier, I should say, because you still have to sell the cards, but if you're willing to put in the work, because like with me, I don't have like the big market for the $1,000 cards. And I'm starting to realize that I like the 1,000. I have expensive taste, but it's hard for me to sell when I get it. Hence the Neymar that I had, hence the Mbappe that I had. They're really hard for me to sell. When I go, I feel like my sweet spot's the TCG and also the lower end Detroit teams, or Michigan State. I had the best time doing it and buying it because I could buy a lot of it, and was able to sell it the next show, and it felt awesome because I've never done that before. That's why I was kind of just wondering about the appeal of trading down. I just want to let people know you have to put in the work to sell the cards, because then you're not really, if it's not your PC cards, I should say, or you're just planning on collecting. If you're planning on selling it, you gotta put in the work.
We flipped a Justin Fields card. I took back a Halliburton. I took back a Wander. And in my opinion, if I sold those two cards by themselves, I'd be pretty close, give or take a couple $100 of what I wanted for the Fields. Now, understanding the markets and having faith, I think most people, at least most people who followed the Bears, especially after they traded for DJ Moore, understood that there's going to be a buzz around this quarterback. I mean, think of like how crazy people were going for Davis Mills last year. So in those two cards, I felt like confident that I could sell these right now, get my money. Plus I've got, 10 cards, of like 5 of which are already off for grading. And then the other 5 are either sold on Drip, ISO, eBay, or we have for inventory for future shows.
Yep. I do have a question though, before we get off the topic, and you said Drip. How is Drip for you guys?
So far, I've loved it. We've done it. We've started to do twice a week. We've done we'll just call them fire sales, whether it's singles or slabs. We get on for about an hour. We run quick paced actions. It's a great opportunity for people to get in and get cards, under comps. Most case, once in a while, you get a couple of people who really want a card. But it's been great. It's not drawn out. We try to have inventory that people would want. It's not just, like you and I both have been on some of those, and I know 504, where it's like you love the idea of a fire sale on Discord, but you have to sit through 100 Donruss base cards that nobody cares about.
Yep.
So it's been nice, man. I expect it to continue to grow. It's been very like nice and organic, and it's just, it's a lot of fun. We get on and we, essentially because everything's loaded, we just have to hit the button, the air horn, and then we get to chop it up for an hour. That's fun.
Yeah, oh yeah, and you get some good deals. I've gotten some great deals already buying from you guys. That 70 wrestler thing. Thanks, Matt, for making me buy 80 wrestlers from Reckless. I appreciate you. But yeah, I guess going back to it before we get off the topic is how we talked about the football to basketball. In conclusion, it might be if you're not getting the low numbered football, I would probably stay away from football. Am I right on that conclusion, I guess? Yeah. Okay. So
it's like your appetite for risk. I think you're going to be safe. And please do your own homework. Don't listen to me because what the hell do I know? But if you're going like a Joe Burrow, if you're going with a Jalen Hurts, if you're going with somebody who has a track record of being good, has a team that's going to be good, and it's of a quality product, let's just say like Optic, Prism, NT, and Flawless, you're probably going to be okay. But there's no guarantee.
Yeah.
You and me, I like horizontal cards, but horizontal are shit compared to vertical. Yep. You know what I mean? Courtney and I prefer Flawless, but NT is king.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's all like opinion. But if you're going there to sell, I guess that's what, because I also seen people. This is kind of what I did last year, and it was a good recipe. I was telling Jeremy earlier. I looked at the newer quarterbacks. So like you said, Herbert, Hurts, Burrow, and I looked at their schedule the first 4 weeks, and Jalen Hurts played scrubs. Shout out Blaine. I think they played Texans. I think they played Jaguars. I think they played the Colts. It was like a cakewalk for them. That month, everyone wanted Jalen Hurts because of how good he was playing, and not really realizing the Eagles are 4-0, but they played the worst 4 teams in the league. So I guess that's my advice. If you are looking football, look at these younger quarterbacks and just go look at their records and look at their first 4 weeks, because that would probably be the best bet.
I think you're right. You called that. The only thing is your actions. You didn't do anything to which you should have made you felt proud because you had an idea, you saw it through, and now next time you have that hunch, you follow through. But I would also say that if you think somebody's going to blow up like that, and for Jalen, you probably need him to go through those 4 weeks and be undefeated for people to buy in.
Yes.
But there is nothing wrong with taking a profit, getting out in July or August, and having no risk, because we all know inevitably somebody's going to get hurt.
Yep.
Somebody's going to get arrested because, they're drinking and driving, even though they get free Ubers. Somebody's going to do something stupid, and somebody's going to hold a bag.
For sure. And
Deshaun's not going to be able to keep his dick under his towel or something like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And Vegas Dave, a.k.a. Matt, Derek Carr with his QB1, he is getting I saw that nasty prism that you post today.
Yeah, congrats. BST, I agree with this. I would say right now, my experience, what I'm seeing up here is Amon-Ra, Justin Jefferson, and Jamar Chase move pretty damn well.
Yeah. Who's going to be the next one, though, Jeremy? Here's Cage. Jameson Williams, that's Manny's guy. Bet on that. So he bet. He did all the betting, and now he's got the suspension. But in Michigan, everyone is still buying Jameson Williams. And
I bought a ton of his stuff.
Lions are he's going to be the X receiver. Some of them are worried about what's going to happen.
He was so good at Alabama. He was so good.
Yeah.
So this popped today too. It's the Jameson Williams pink swirl.
Oh yeah, that's nasty.
Out of 11.
Yeah.
And we've been buying up like the white sparkles and stuff like that, but that's more of like a long game. Like we know he's going to come back. We know, but the same thing, we will sell all of his stuff before he has an opportunity to be on FanDuel or whatever ever again.
Yeah. What do you think about Calvin Ridley or Garrett? You said the wide receiver, some of them, but Calvin Ridley's coming back to the Jaguars, and then you also got Garrett Wilson that's going to have Aaron Rodgers now in the Jets.
So that's the same thought process. They're going to get there. Everybody's going to start with like tier 1. And then when they get priced out of that, everybody's going to go for like what the next tier is. And then the following tier. Cage, we do a monthly show in Chicago for the Ludex show. And I will say this. You know that guy who set up with us, Manny, up in Traverse City? Then he was at the Lansing Mall?
Oh, yeah, that guy.
We probably bought about 100 DJ Moore cards. Autograph, optic contenders, the whole shebang. And I think, Courtney, we've sold like every single DJ Moore card because everybody's thinking the same thing. So your thought, in my opinion, your thought process, what's that?
I said, you Bear fans you love your Bears is what I realize being friends with you. The Chicago market is huge.
Yeah.
Like Justin Fields is going off the shelf, and that dude, no offense to you, and you know this, he doesn't throw the ball.
Well, no, that's like he does throw the ball. But here's the thing. That's like the same people that say Justin Fields is a running quarterback is like the same national. It's like lazy. They don't actually know because he's not a natural runner. He doesn't like to run. But when you have no offensive line and you have absolutely no weapons, and as a second-year quarterback, he's already had 2 offensive coordinators, it's a little goofy. So by getting DJ Moore, sliding Mooney over to the number 2, Cole Kmet coming into, having an offensive line, having some running backs, all of a sudden you're going to see what he's capable of.
I hope so. Because he has, people are forgetting Chase Claypool. You guys are all excited about, but Chase Claypool's had like a half a season with him already.
He's a, you know what? I hope he's a great number 3 or number 4.
Who are you guys going to try to get Dalvin Cook? I've heard rumors that he might go there or Miami or Buffalo.
It doesn't matter. I'm not putting any sort of real money into any sort of running backs.
I like Garrett's play.
Joey Chestnut. Leave it to Garrett to just derail the whole damn thing.
Garrett's right, though. That's the true GOAT right there.
Yeah, I got to be honest. And this is going to be so un-American of me, and I know I'm going to piss off all the white people in the chat, like all like the hardcore nationalists. I always liked Kobayashi. I always it pained me when Joey beat Kobayashi. It's amazing how that chat, like how you just like you're not even there. You're just like a human being, but you're so zoned in on.
It's because Courtney's yelling at me because she's a Bears fan and she says I'm wrong all the time.
Ignore her. That's you give people power when you give them attention. You got to be like Slick. Like when people go after Cage, he just puts a nice post up with like a song where there's like a subliminal like I see you, but I'm not going to acknowledge you. That's how you roll.
Yeah, that's true. But it's Courtney. I can't ignore Courtney.
You can ignore Courtney. I promise you.
No, Courtney scares me. We already discussed how Courtney scares me. But no, so football though, like, yes, buy football and don't go with the crowd.
Don't listen to Manny.
No, don't go.
Pay attention. Have your own game plan. Be able to be flexible when it makes sense. Don't just buy football because Manny said. Manny doesn't even watch football.
Yes,
Manny buys TCG cards, then complains that he gets his ass kicked selling TCG cards. So.
Well, I get my ass kicked selling anything, but it's a kind of a thing. But you see, Cage is scared of Courtney as well. So big news in the hobby though, and it looks like Blaine just beat me to the punch. Messi is coming to America. How do you feel about that?
Dude, I'm fucking jazzed. We are Court. How many years did we hold season tickets with the Fire? 4, 5, 6 years. Nothing. If you would tell me that as I approach my 40s that I'd be hanging out via computer listening to Will Smith bobbing my head, I might have ended it at that point in time.
Oh man, everyone's coming to Miami. He's getting I feel like that Inter Miami squad's gonna like take out the whole MLS, and I don't know if it's a good thing for the MLS, and you think it is.
Okay, I don't know how it could be a bad thing, but let me tell you something. We had season tickets, the best seats in the house, midfield, row 1, seats 1 and 2. And the cool thing that the Fire would do is if you didn't lose your ticket, if you didn't use them, you could get like, instead of like game 1, you don't use them, game 2, you get 4 tickets. So then we would use
just like giving them out.
No. Like that was part of like that's how they would incentivize you to buy season tickets. And so we would go and we would load up like if like the Galaxy came through and it was to see Beckham or Thierry Henry came through or any big name star. I believe Messi coming over is going to be absolutely massive for the MLS. I think like standing room tickets for an Orlando game are already at like $700. And I think Inter Miami already has more Instagram followers than like several massive US teams of the 4 major sports.
So okay. This is why I guess I should bring it up. Is Messi's card market going to go up or stay the same?
You said, like, is this good for MLS? You don't get to, like, not even have a rebuttal.
No. I don't think it's that. It's not going to be – I don't think it's going to, like, affect the MLS. The people that don't watch soccer are not going to just watch soccer.
They are.
You think the people
that are
$15 a month for Apple TV to watch Messi play the only game is Messi.
You're in a group chat with people who think soccer is the dumbest thing ever, and now they're trying to coordinate going to a soccer game.
I missed that. You sure about that?
I am 1,000% positive. Everybody is trying to get together and go and see a damn soccer match.
Yeah, but okay. How is that going to help? You say MLS as a whole. How does that help Columbus Crew versus Chicago Fire?
It draws attention to the league.
No, it draws attention to Inter Miami.
Okay. Clearly, you're just being a dumbass troll tonight. So
no, I'm just asking. I'm just asking because
a wise man once told me you don't argue with an idiot because from afar you can't tell the difference.
No.
Messi's bad. He should go take the Saudi Arabia money. This is dumb. We're all gonna die. Next.
No. I was talking to like some serious soccer fans, and they were like, "There's." You
were probably on the clubhouse. You were probably on a clubhouse chat with a bunch of people who don't know anything about soccer who have dumbass opinions, and you might be able to troll them. It's not working here. What do you want to talk about next? Let's see the thickest of the week. You fucking bonehead.
I did get. Side note, I did get everyone riled up in Clubhouse because I was making this claim, and Tim from Slabstrong was losing his mind. And then I asked him, I said, "Hey, are you going to pay $14 a month for Apple?" He's like, "No." I was like, "Exactly. So you don't even care that much." He's like, "Manny, is there going to be one subscription to Apple TV?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, then that's improving the MLS." I'm like, "What's going to happen when Messi retires though?"
Because you know what's coming out now is like Suarez said he's coming. And he even alluded to the fact that like Neymar, they all have like some pact where they'll play together.
Okay, this is where I wanted to tell you, like, serious note though. This guy that follows the MLS like and is a huge USA soccer, and this can kind of hopefully maybe kind of get a new viewpoint. MLS is kind of, and you can admit this, it's not a minor league system like baseball has, but it is a stepping stone to the European League. And he was saying that it produces a lot of like talent for the USA soccer team. Now all these people have to pay. I don't know if it's true or not, but he said every team had to pay basically for Messi to come, like part of like the deal. So now it takes money from that to actually like training these guys that are going to be future USA stars into like the MLS. That's kind of where he was getting at. Like it's a hit on the MLS short term, but maybe they make it up through like Apple and all that other stuff. So that's kind of where he was getting at. And it was actually like a valid point because you know this. You know that MLS is a stepping stone for Europe. Everyone in MLS wants to go play in the Europe League.
Not everyone.
Most people.
But I think, yeah, like if you if you have aspirations of being the best at your craft, you're probably not staying stateside to play MLS. However, it's gonna like the more big name talent you get over to the league, the more people are going to be inclined to watch, the more excitement there's going to be. You're going to be able to showcase
Oh, yeah.
young talent. And then maybe when you get that homegrown superstar, you're able to keep them as opposed to them going over there.
Yeah, but what I mean, we had it before. David Beckham, you had Pele, you had Thierry Henry, like you said, you had your guy. What was his name?
Did you
Steisenberger.
just say Pele played in the MLS?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I did not.
Yeah, Pele played in the MLS.
Are you
So
serious?
the greatest player of all time played in the MLS.
Really?
Yeah. And who was your guy? That Steisenberger or something? David.
Bastian Schweinsteiger.
Yeah, there you go. Kaká played. Like it's these legends. Zlatan came and played. These legends have came and gone, and MLS is still the same. That's kind of where I was. I know it's not.
MLS is not the same.
You think it's grown because of these guys?
It's grown substantially, man. There's more clubs everywhere. Have you ever seen an LAFC versus an LA Galaxy match? No, yeah, because you don't watch and you're just making a dumbass opinion.
Those are all my primos that love soccer. That in LA. That's what they
Dude,
say.
I saw
1-0.
I saw Thierry Henry get subbed on in like the 60th minute with like a broken leg and from like 30 meters out hit the upper 90. Ooh. Just like pure class. Like he didn't score the goal. Like he hit the wood and it bounced off, but it was just of all the sporting events. I've been to a lot of sporting events. That's like top 10 to see him in person.
Oh yeah, I went to see. It was an exhibition, Man United versus Real Madrid, and when Ronaldo came on, I had goosebumps. I was like, "This guy's a hero. What is he like? He's right in front of me." It was crazy. But yeah, that was another thing. Is like Messi's gonna play, and it's only the Eastern Conference, right? I'm wondering. Inter Miami is like one of the worst teams in the league, but it's the same of him coming. I don't know. I don't see it because someone was saying that it's like. They don't care about MLS. It's still exhibition games, right? I was like, well, Messi came in international play, and he comes with his team like at least 10 times. He plays 10 games a year in exhibition, and no one really bats an eye. I think it's like a hype right now.
I think the ticket sales would argue otherwise.
Oh, yeah, the ticket. Well, yeah, that's crazy to me. But then again, the average MLS fan is probably pissed because now they can't afford the tickets.
Nobody's pissed.
No. I'm saying could be pissed. They got
you know what would be great is if the NBA never had Michael Jordan or LeBron James. That would suck to have like supremely talented people playing a sport.
Yeah, if it didn't have LeBron James, I would agree. Michael Jordan, no.
I don't know. Like I don't understand. I thought you liked soccer. I guess not.
No, I do.
I think you are like you fully embrace that you're just going to be a troll at all times, and so you have to like lean into it like 2% more because you're saying just enough that I can't tell if you're just an asshole or you're a troll.
That's what happens when I hang around you too much. I'm learning how to be an asshole, but be at the same time kind of intelligent. So
I think like BST's like stroking out or he's watching wrestling. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. He's probably doing both, to be honest.
Possibly. And ruining a hobby by cutting up cards and making custom cards.
Yeah, he needs to make me a custom deck. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. The true trimmer right there is Blaine.
Exactly.
Yeah, what a piece of shit.
Unbelievable.
So, have you been watching the NBA Finals?
I have.
Dude, did you see Jamal Murray and Jokic last game? Was amazing.
I think it was awesome. You know, it's better like the two white kids who are acting like them in the gym, making like the parody videos are absolutely hysterical. Like the big dopey white guy, just like doing all the goofy stuff, looking like Joker. It makes for a good laugh if you got 30 seconds to kill on the old Instagram machine.
You need to follow his account because he does LeBron James and he does his run like the same.
It's like one of those kinds of videos where they do like the run or like the free throw, something like that.
Yeah, I can't with Courtney today. She's attacking me for no reason.
For no reason, man. You say stupid things, man.
That wasn't a stupid thing. Like, it could possibly hurt the USA International because of the fees that has to come with Messi and all these other talent that's coming because we are homegrown USA and we don't produce good players. So now if they take that from the academies, that's going to be worse for our team in the national.
The young players, we're pretty damn loaded, man.
Yeah, now we are.
We are pretty damn loaded.
I know. So, but yeah, I watched it and I put a parlay in for the NBA Finals. I needed Joker to get one more assist. He needed to have 10.5, and he got 10. and I would have won a big parlay. And I was like crying at the end because they kept them in, and it was like a 20-point game. And I'm like, pass the ball, someone score. And I'm so mad.
I'll tell you what, if Miami doesn't win tonight, I'm not one to like typically jump to conclusions, but if Miami doesn't win tonight, I think it's over.
Yeah, I think it is too.
That
They
would
need
be
to win at least one. What's the score at right now? Do you know?
I don't know. I'm busy arguing with a troll.
It's halftime, 55-51.
Okay. So close game.
Nuggets right
The
now.
Nug Bones.
Yeah. So what else you got to talk about in the hobby? What else? What's going on with you?
Man, we've been I'm really happy. So we've had this like I'm very like if there's like little things outstanding, it drives me crazy and it irks me. And we finally got to a point where like every single card is earmarked and it's like where it needs to be, how it needs to go, where it like makes me feel like a sense of calm. Like if it's stuff that needs to be sent off for grading, it is sent off for grading. If it was stuff sent off for ComC, it is sent off to ComC. If it needs to be loaded into drip, it's in drip. You know what I mean? And so with that being said, like I'm very pleased from like a card perspective because there is not one of those stacks sitting around like, oh, I got to do something with it.
Yeah. Do you have a Jimmy Butler?
I have no Jimmy Butler.
So now that you're so organized, thanks to Courtney and Amelia doing your amazing room down there. And do you plan on sending, because I know you got a ton of boxes. I know you said you sent something to ComC. Are you planning on doing it more?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to like maybe send like 50 to 100 cards like on a monthly basis. You know, like you have those cards and so you pick out what you think will be most appealing for a fire sale, what's hot right now. Yep. You keep those and like, for instance, I sent off a bunch of like basketball stuff that of rookies who by the time they get loaded, because they're expected to be loaded by October, basketball will be gearing up.
For sure. Are you keeping the same are you keeping the money in your account? Because it's kind of cool when you don't sign in for a couple of days and you look and your amount goes up and you're like, let's go.
Yeah, I'm not. I haven't touched that money. Garrett, the ComC grind, I am having a blast with it. Quite frankly, I wish I would have known about it sooner, or I would have been more curious about how to use it. I legitimately, and not to sound like an ass, but I took a bunch of cards that I don't care about. And I'm guilty of like, I go to shows and I just give kids away. And like, if you think about it, $5 there, $7, $3, which we'll still continue to do that because it's like the cool thing to do.
Yeah.
But instead of just like, hey, that's a stack of cards that I'm just giving away, it's actually a few $100. And because people don't want to withdraw their money on ComC, they're willing to pay $7 for a $6 card.
Is it taxed pretty much? I forgot what
it's 10% when you withdraw your money.
10%. Okay.
So that's why when Trees was up to like 20 G's,
he bought a card.
He bought a card instead of paying like, giving up 2 G's.
That makes sense because he said it's kind of like money laundering. You get your money and use a big card, take the big card out, sell it, get the cash.
Now this is the first thing I'm gonna like. So when Courtney was schooling you, she was spot on. But this right here, what we talked about with Shay with Fund Your Card is so intriguing, man. What did you think of that?
The
Fund Your Card.
Oh, the Fund Your Card. Do you like that? I'm hesitant just because it's been done before. Like
who did it before?
InvestiCard.
No, he borrowed you money.
Isn't that what Shay's doing?
No. Let's say you want a card that's up on Golden this week, right?
Yes.
And let's just say it's $1,000 card. They'll get the card for you, and within 30 to 45 days, you just have to pay them back with $1,100 worth of cards. You take possession of the cards once they sell them all.
So you buy a card on Golden, right?
No, you don't buy anything. They handle all of that, and then you pay them in cards, and their fees are 10%. So if like they get $1,000 card for you, you owe them $1,100.
Wow. Okay, so they're making the money off the interest, right?
Essentially like that 10%. So then it becomes like a volume play, but because they have their own relationships and with that kind of volume, they get better. You're 100% right, Court.
Yeah, I definitely haven't yet.
Yeah, dude. So it's like straightforward. So like if you look through your cards, and let's just say you had like legitimately like $4,000 or $5,000 worth of cards,
Mm-hmm.
they don't care if it's dollar cards. They don't care what kind of cards they are, as long as when it sells, it gets to that 10%. You
Okay.
get so they got like you could call it with like Premiere this upcoming Premiere. You see a $20,000 card, they go out and get it for you, and then you just flip them your $22,000 worth of cards.
So there's no really cash
No,
because
now like you could like let's say you gave them like let's say $20,000, you gave them $15,000 worth of cards and paid the other you
okay.
paid the delta with cash.
Yeah.
But I think it's like a great way because like oftentimes there's like that like $3,000 to $8,000 card where you're like, ooh, but I don't have $8,000 just sitting around, but I do have like this a few cards that haven't moved.
It's an easy trade, right? You're
Yeah.
trading knowing already that you could get the card because they don't care about the card. They just care about selling it and getting the money.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's good because if they did you say they handle the card like selling the cards too?
They handle everything,
and they have a bigger market.
They do. They have more relationships. Like Empire's pretty big.
Yes,
CA is pretty big. They have close. They claim, and I'm not saying that like that they don't, but like what they boasted about in the thing is like their relationships with auction houses. They probably have an idea based on the card, where it'll do the best at. And it behooves them to get the most for your card because they don't want to waste time. And let's say you send them $5,000 worth of cards and it sells for $6,000, they refund you the difference.
Do they? Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So it's like a consignment /
kind of.
Yeah, trade.
Kind of.
Yeah. That's
so
cool.
like I know we're gonna keep our eyes peeled and we'd like to try it with like maybe something like small to medium. You know what I mean? And just to check it out. But I mean, like, because I could go after like a $2,000-$3,000 card right now. Hey man, get this card for me. And then like I was like curious as we wrapped up the interview. I've been thinking like from a tax perspective.
Oh yeah.
If you don't want to show that you're buying these cards and you're just trading into it, like there's got to be some advantages there somehow, some way. But I would talk with a CPA or somebody who's fiscally more intelligent than I.
That's true. What Courtney's saying. It's the value when it sells.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, I guess that's really cool. You can mess with them because we love Shay, right? You can mess with them and just buy $1,000 cards and ship them $5,000 cards you can't sell. Let them sell it. They sold
a card. What was it, like 300? One card for 300 cards?
One card. Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm telling you, like it's just.
Yeah, maybe we like I said, we just shipped them $5,000 cards, buy 1,000, we get 4,000 and the card.
But here's the thing where I think people look at it and they're just like, that's not for me. Understanding how you can utilize in a weekly, like I utilize Veriswap. So when I get on PWCC and I buy something for $50, but there's no comps, especially if somebody doesn't use like sales history on Card Ladder, and you throw it up and give it a value of $500, and somebody offers you $400, $500, $600 worth of cards.
Yeah.
Like that's how I utilize Veriswap as a tool. Now, if there's a spot where I don't have liquidity and there's a card I want to get, but I know I can get there from a card perspective in 30 to 45 days, all of a sudden fund your cards could be a potential option. Yeah. So it's just like understanding how these tools are out there and how you can utilize them to help yourself on a daily, weekly basis.
What is Veriswap's 3%, right, for each trade?
Veriswap's expensive. Now I've played in some shady ass business where we've done some deals and we agreed to assign our cards values of like $11.
You could message people on Veriswap after the trade.
You typically won't see those on because they do like a who won this trade thing. Yeah. So you won't see it when you see like Burrow Contenders where it's like $11, like this massive $22 trade.
I do see those posts and it would be so funny.
So I had a guy message me and I was like, I'm like, I see everybody else doing. I'll try it. I've already paid them a ton of money in fees. And it went through and I was like, okay.
I was telling you today, they followed us yesterday. And Jeremy was like one of the first people to be on Veriswap.
Yeah, dude, when we interviewed him for Hobby Night School, I felt like seriously, he should have cut me a damn check because I was like, man, this is how I'm freaking it with this platform.
You were so hyped.
it's cool. And
me and Courtney were kind of iffy because of the fees, because we were saying that we would want the 25 a month, right? I would rather pay a monthly fee than every transaction. Then you get rid of like all the crazy. Let's put it at $11.
I like the fact that, so I like that it's insured. Like, that's cool. I like, you know, the packaging, everything goes with that. Yeah, exactly, Kendall. But people put the pricing like stupid low to avoid paying that fees. And so that's why, like, unless you're like going for like a straight PC card, doing 1-for-1 really doesn't make sense, because you're just paying 3% to like move shit around. So like, I love to trade down and or trade up.
What do you think? Imagine if like card ladder put the prices that VeriSwap was traded at. The data would be so screwed up.
Yeah, I don't know how you could do that, because it's like trading gets goofy because nobody knows your entry point.
No, because I mean, like at your aspect,
I've traded like $30 cards I paid $30 for like $500-600.
Exactly, and I don't know how you get around that 3%. I mean, you could talk to the guy, but
quite frankly, I don't want to be involved in any data, because somebody will like you'll end up on card porn being shitted on because you're manipulating the market or you're pumping something.
Yeah,
that is true. That is a huge risk, though. Yeah. If you're assigning like 11, because I mean, there's been deals that are like $10,000-15,000 deals. If for some reason those things get lost in the mail, and their blanket coverage covers your $11 card that you claim, that's a bad day. So you're trusting that USPS is going to do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, and you can't trust like people like Oz, the people's mailman, handling 15,000 to get to you. He sees that box. He sees that, you know, that card box. He's going to snag it. Sticky bandit.
No, but I mean, like, I like it. I'll throw stuff up on VeriSwap. I'm typically looking to trade down.
Look at what Courtney said. That's what that needs to be, I think.
They need a block button too. So for really? All the six, yeah, dude, they definitely do.
For what?
Just people you don't want to deal with, like the kid that offers
you. Don't know them though, do you?
What's that?
You don't get interaction at all.
Yeah, no, but I don't want to ever have to deal with them again, because somebody who opens up with like, hey, here's $100 worth of $10 cards.
Yeah,
you know, PSA 8, Don Russ.
Yeah,
you know those cards. That's not somebody that you don't even want to take serious. That they just need to just go away. That's
what you were doing to me when I posted my cards on VeriSwap. You found my handle and started giving me, let's get this $1,000 card for $0 cash, and I kept figuring.
I was giving you a taste of what I deal with.
No, but it was funny because I kept saying, Jeremy, this is what VeriSwap is. They're just trying to.
Or the clown that messages you and says like, "Hey man, I know the last 10 comps are $1,000, but Alt told me this card's $400, so I'll give you $300." Like those people, like if you could just take them out back and just be done with them, I'm all for it.
So I'm going to screenshot this, Courtney, and send it to Oz.
It's not wrong.
Not wrong at all.
Not wrong.
Yeah, so the VeriSwap is a cool idea. They need to change it. I think the monthly fees can help with that and have people have normal prices.
Yeah, dude, it's not an end all be all. Throw up some cards.
Yeah.
Tell people what you're trying to do, what you're looking at. Like, especially cards that you get stuck with. It's a great spot to get rid of. Like, I had all those DeAndre Swifts, and I moved there. I had like a super Eagles fan that came and offered me the world for all those, and I was into them for like nothing.
Okay. That's good. I guess you do make some good trades on there because you've told me before the trades. But there is a lot of people just trying to.
Oh, yeah. Like, I'll tell you, like I've been offered, I'll tell you what it is right now.
Oh, boy.
843 unsuccessul trades. So there is a lot of volume where you're telling people to pound sand or kick rocks.
Yeah.
Miss me with that.
What would be the declines if Courtney were in that VeriSwap? If yours is at 800, you cannot deal with Courtney. It's the best. It's funny watching her.
So here's where Courtney and I vary. Like, I know when people start to piss me off where like I know I have the sale. Yeah, but I'm letting like, hey, we're either going to conduct like business like gentlemen or gentlewomen or whatever the hell you want to say. But you're pissing me off where I'll be like, hey, do you want to close this? And she'll be like, yeah. But I'm like your regular, like average, like back and forth. Courtney's much more of a hard ass than I am.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and she'll G-check them little teenage boys all day and tell them to get out of here. Where I'm like, if the kid like conducts himself, like he shakes your hand, he looks you in the eye, he says like, hey, how are you? I'm more inclined to do a deal with those.
I feel like some people wait until you leave or until you get back from the table to come back just because Courtney is behind the table knowing that they're not going to get a deal.
Yeah.
Look at her decline rate.
Yeah, like you should have saw she had this white sparkle of a Justin Fields, and these kids were coming after her, and I was out buying. And like they were throwing everything at her, and they start with the like, oh, she's a girl, she doesn't know what she's talking about, and then she schools them and like gently reminds them, like, hey, I was at Dallas, were you? No. Hey, I was at Burbank, were you? No. Hey, I was at Culture Clips, were you? Like, no. And then they quickly realize, and then like all of a sudden she's coming back getting better deals than I could ever get because she's just put them through the ringer. Where I'm like, hey man, this young man shook my hand, looked me in the eyes, and fed me some bullshit. We did a deal.
Look at Kendall. Note to self: don't deal with Courtney.
Yeah, don't. That is it.
If you see Courtney lurking, you're about to get in the weeds because she's not.
So here's the thing. So we bought the Jordan auto from Brandon. Was that 2 years ago in Chicago? And so then it was unexpected, and so like we're gonna go sell. And I'm like, well, that's a Courtney job. So like my job is to make sure that like, hey, do you have a Gatorade? Do you know what you have? And she's the opener. And then I just came in and closed. So it was like good cop, bad cop. And then we work in tandem.
No, that was the first time I seen Courtney in action. She grabbed that Jordan and was off. And
no, she had the late. Yeah. Well, yes.
Yeah,
I know.
Went to
work. And I'm like, I'm like, damn, this motherfucker, man. She's just mowing through these people. One person would have told me no, and I would have been like back in the hotel room, like in the fetal position, like crying. And she's just like, she gets down with the card dudes. Like, she's like, okay, cool.
I wish I would have seen, we would record that because she was like, you buying Jordan? No. You buying Jordan? No. You buying Jordan? I was like, this is impressive, Courtney.
Dude,
pushed me out the way. Yeah. She had her linebacker skills, and I was like, hey, Courtney, gotta sell this Jordan, and just zoom right by me.
Yes. I'm telling you, that's the way we work. We got down, we got the job done, and then we opened the Joker 1 of 1, and we got offered $2K cash, and we're like, yeah, deal.
Yeah, so it's levels for you guys though. By the way, it's Courtney's the tier 1 for dealing, then it's you. But once they see Steven behind the table with no one else, they're running over. Because Steven's given at 25% cops.
Hey, he ran Mark's table at the athletic show the other day, and he did good.
Did he?
He did really good.
Let's go. I'm proud of him. Did he sell that Josh Allen? Yeah.
No, I did. Just like I sold your card, I took the hit to help you guys and get you guys like. I sold it for him. I paid him full comps, and I'm just like, don't ever do that again.
Do you mind saying what it went for? Did he make money?
He made like 10, $15.
Okay, so he made money. So
no, but he didn't make money because nobody's paying full eBay comps for a card. It was like they packaged some of our cards with his card, and I just like gave him, just like I do with your cards. When I package your cards, I give you the full asking price or within a couple bucks, and I take the hit.
Okay, now you made me feel bad, but. Okay. Now, I felt bad because he did get a good deal on it. It must have went down prior because it was going for like $200, $210.
It was a base.
I know, but you could.
Don Russ card, man.
It was Optic, wasn't it?
Optic or Don. Well, Optic is technically Don Russ, so I'm right either way. So he did all right.
So this is funny because I think Jeremy's getting tired of these kids coming up with trade up challenges, and Courtney was doing it for the Jordan. See, this is the levels. Courtney's doing it with Jordan autos, and then Jeremy's getting irritated with kids doing trade.
No, because here's the problem with the trade up challenge. There's this expectation that you just are going to give them. Here's a dollar card. I'm going to give you $50. And back when they first started, I would and still to this day, any kid that comes up and is like halfway decent, I let them win the deal. Like a couple bucks isn't going to make or break me. Now, when you have the 19-year-old patchy-haired face kid come up who's trying to pawn off college uni with some grading company I've never heard of, telling me he's doing the trade-up challenge as he's like, I'm sorry, sir. I dropped your taco. I'll get it. That kid can pound sand in his ass, too. I'm not helping you. Get out of here.
You didn't have to describe Saul like that.
No, Saul's my guy.
Yeah, Saul, you buying showcases, and he's trying to get the showcase from you. That was fun.
I tried selling it to him, man. It was a nice showcase. That was like an instant flip. I bought somebody out, and then I tried flipping the damn showcase.
To Saul. Oh, that was perfect. No, so what's the next? We're not going to Midwest Monster, right? You're not.
I'm not. Actually, I'm going to try to hit up a local show tomorrow. And like, here's the thing. The trade-up challenge, like, if it's a little guy or a little girl who's like meaning well, but like I get these kids that come up and don't even say hi. No. They don't even say hi. Like, what will you do for me? I'm doing a trade-up challenge, as if I'm obligated to give you something. Like, and those people, I have no patience for. Like, the kid that scares the shit out of you, I don't even treat him like a kid. I treat him like a grown-ass man. You're quick to talk shit and think that you can treat people a certain way. Well, I'm going to treat you like a little grown-ass man. Get your ass out of here.
I got to be careful about talking about that little kid because Matt.
I'm not. Like, here's the thing. People like you enable that person to go around and be rude and disrespectful. Like, you have to operate in the same space. Now, if I clap back at you, all of a sudden I'm going to be a jerk, but it's perfectly cool for you to be rude and disrespectful to everybody and hide behind the fact that you're a kid. You're walking around with 100 G's in your Zion case. You can have a big boy conversation.
That kid always gets brought up in our thing. But Matt, like, sent me a picture of him because he was in a video. So I've been doxxed. He knows who I'm talking about now.
Here's the thing. And it's not even, shame on the parents. Because at first, it is cool. Like, the kid is savvy. He's pretty smart. But what's going to end up happening is he is very rude and disrespectful. He interrupts people, and he thinks just because he's X years old that you can treat people that way. If an adult, like a grown woman or a grown man, went and acted that way, we'd all be up in arms saying, who the hell is this person? They need to get the hell out of here. What, just because you're a kid? That you get to act that way? Like, I mean, you'll be in the middle of talking. He just interrupts you. So I've gotten to the point where I'm just like, nah. And I even sent him packing the other way. I'm like, hey, man, you're playing in the big leagues now.
At National, I'm sending him to Jason's way. I'm going to be like, you see that DCI booth? Jason's really, really nice guy. He'll buy all your cards.
But I mean, like, where does it come? Like, why is it okay to be, just because you're a kid, you get to be disrespectful?
I know. There's some disrespectful kids. Most of them are, like you said, a lot of them are the 20-year-olds. They don't even look at you. Or the 50-year-olds when I'm like, hey, how's it going? And they're like.
Yeah, I don't know what it about middle-aged white people, but they look you up and down, and they do not want to say hi to you. I will say this, that like late teen into early mid-20s who don't look at you and just scan your showcase with their phone. Yeah. And like, hey, I know this card is this, but alt tells me this, I'll give you that. Those people are the worst. And I've gotten to the point where the minute I can tell they're an alt zombie, I'm just like, yeah, this isn't going to work. And they're like, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, a comp is really just like a point of reference. That's where we begin a conversation. We're willing to go back and forth. You don't look up. You know what I mean? You're just trying to buy it from me to turn around and sell. And my favorites when they're like, well, I can give you 70%. I'm like, dude, I sell to the repack. I can go 85, 90%. So like,
yeah,
if you're not even going to look me in the eye and shake my hand, why the hell am I just going to give it to you?
Yeah, see, you got to give him a big back hug like I did, and that's how you get the deals. Give him a little kiss on the.
Now it's Shipshawana at trade night, which you missed. This kid came over and bought cards for his mom, bought cards for his sister, came engaged in a nice conversation, and buying like $2,000-$3,000 worth of stuff from us.
Yeah,
and I was like, when he came back the second time, I gave him a better deal than some asshole who was,
you told me about this right next,
right in front of him. I sold it to him, and I'm like, well, that's what happens when you conduct yourself. Like,
yeah,
I have no problem. Like, I want people to win. I want people to have a good experience, but you don't get the right to just treat people like shit. Like, we do this for fun, and we try to do right by people.
Yeah,
I'm not here to get my balls busted.
Yep. I have Kendall bringing up the fundraiser chocolates. I think we have an idea. Let's bring La and Kaya Bear to the shows and have them sell some chocolate and say it's for fundraisers. At least they'll be respectful when they go up. Oh, La might beat someone up. So if they say no to her, but we'll have to take that risk.
You know, it's like I want the kids to win. I want them to have a great time. I will let.
Look at wait.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, there you go. The 50-cent card.
Why not? I want somebody to try it. Like, let's see if that's really.
Yeah.
Let's see if that really happens. No, but here's the thing: you want people to have a good experience because it's that next generation. There you go, Garrett.
Garrett. Yep.
Like those are the people that you're going to sell your base cards to, and your $30 and $40 and $50 cards that don't mean anything to you.
Yeah.
But if you just shut them out and make them feel like crap and don't give them an avenue or a path to growth, the whole thing tumbles, man.
That is true. That cupcake guy got mad. Courtney yelled at me because I didn't buy from that cupcake guy. So, but yeah, no, we went way off about kids trade. I don't know how we got here.
The chat, like on a Friday night, everybody's sipping, doing something. They brought up like all these bastard kids in their trade up challenges. Shout out, bastard kids. I'm here for the kids, man. Nobody will ever say otherwise. You come to Shipshewana, the kids will carry Courtney and I on their shoulders.
Well, the kids at Shipshewana are different. I mean, someone won a Zion case for $100 and gave it to another kid. Another girl gave cards to another kid that was wasn't he battling like some type of cancer at one point too? Yeah. Made Courtney cry twice.
Because it was sweet.
Yeah.
Because you always hear the bad. Like you go on like all I heard today is how much the hobby sucks. Nobody likes the way anybody does anything in the hobby. Everybody's terrible. Everybody's garbage. Everybody's trash. And in reality, there's actually some pretty cool, good people out there trying to do right by other people, and there aren't shitbags.
So Garrick has a request. He has a 2-year-old that wants a Kenny Pickett silver auto, probably PSA 10. So you should probably help out.
Hey, my guy Garrett, he's part of the problem with the hobby, single-handedly trying to destroy the Michigan market.
You know, he bought. Remember, he was the one that bought the Luka, won that Luka, and he was trying to flip it to you for like $30,000. He got it for $700.
He did flip it to me for like damn near $30K.
Exactly. So
he did. He did. He got that beautiful bright blue bold on card Miguel Cabrera auto.
Oh, really? There you go.
Garrett took me to the ring. Like he took me out, man.
See, look, he's a good kid. He doesn't ask for anything.
In our house, our kids are defined as good by the more they ask for. That was sarcasm.
Well,
yeah, we got some spoiled ass kids.
I was gonna say your kids are pretty spoiled.
They are.
Yeah, Steven's really spoiled.
If it's not the greatest day ever for Kaya Bear, it's the worst day of all time.
Really? Kaya Bear?
If it is not the greatest day ever,
yes,
it's the worst day ever.
But I feel like that's law, not Kaya Bear.
No, that is very much Kaya Bear.
Kaya Bear is so sweet.
She is, but now the devil in her has come out, and if it is not the absolute greatest day, it's the worst day ever.
Okay.
So her expectation of what a day is supposed to be is so out there that the minute it's like, hey, you're not riding a pony right out of bed, and you're not like rainbows and unicorns and going to the movies and having a super fun day. Like, Kaya, how was your day? Not so good.
Well, I was laughing at you. I forgot to tell you that for you and Courtney. So Kaya Bear turned what, 6?
6. And
you had them. This is how spoiled they are. They went to Dave & Buster's, and the first thing you said is, I dropped $200 as I'm walking through the door. Instead of going to Chuck E. Cheese or something, Kyle Bear is going to Dave & Buster's.
Yeah, and the first like ride or game that they did, the $200 that you paid for or whatever didn't even cover it. Like you had to buy some additional VR thing, and that was after spending a day at at the pool and eating good, and then eating out, and then exactly. See, Courtney knows. Look at that.
Yeah, you're pulling it back up. You're like, I'm pulling this back up.
Immediately, the worst day ever.
Oh, that's funny.
Kaya, it's the greatest day. Hey, I don't want to go to bed at 9:42. Did you have a great day, Kaya? No, Daddy. It was okay. What was the matter? I didn't want to go to bed right now. Therefore, the day sucked and life's over.
Yeah.
Dude, 5,000 tickets.
That had to be so expensive.
It was like $200 expensive for her to buy a damn like fucking pillow.
Well, and you're like you said, your kids have high taste. The actual games that they were doing was probably the most expensive ones in the.
Well, here's the thing. They were like so like, because we were telling them like, you've never seen anything like this for Kaya and La. that they would get in there and they would start one ride
Yeah.
or like one game, and they'd already be on to the next one.
They got
Daddy, they'd get on like the motorcycle thing, and they're like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Hey, we just paid, we just swiped the damn credit card thing. Let's go to that one, Daddy."
Yep, they have your syndrome.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, besides your kids and how spoiled, do you have anything else that you want to bring to the line?
No, man, it was just kind of cool on a Friday night, kind of a little different than what we normally do. It's just been cool, man. I've been just buying and selling cards, having fun with cards, not having so much fun with dealing some of the people who are acting a fool. Yeah. But what you do is you curate your experience, you surround yourself with people that you enjoy, and you kind of like try to avoid the noise as much as possible, I guess.
I know. That's why I'm thankful to have you in the hobby, because when it's all bad on social, I could just count on calling you and cheering me up.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I make it a point, and I know it probably drives, I'm like so ignorant to stuff that's going on in the world, because anything that makes me feel some sort of way, I just avoid it like the plague. You know what I mean? Like, like, so like something could happen in the news and like I completely miss it, because like my Twitter is like anybody following Patrick Williams or giving me updates on his workouts. Patrick Williams, Ryan's cards to see like what he's posted, or
Starbucks.
Yeah, and then all my people who tag me with Starbucks, which is fucking fantastic, which I love.
Or what's his name? The Michigan fan. What's his name? He'll just post, want to donate cards.
That guy is something else. I am super mad at him. He broke all card etiquette. Somebody was selling a Hutchinson at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm interested. I'll take. The guy like obviously was already in bed, so he responded the morning, which I claimed first. This other guy, Michigan Go Blue, James.
Yeah, James.
He put a price out there and bought the damn thing, and then comes up to the table and asks him if I'll hook him up. No shame in his game. No shame in his. He's the guy that like whatever card he's trying to buy, he PCs him the whole shebang. My house burnt down. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but he runs him through the ringer like, "Hey, man, give me a deal."
Yeah, I mean, I can't say anything. He gave me a Nomar card, so I appreciate him.
Yeah, well, I mean, he tried selling it to you.
Yeah, he did. So, all right. Well, any last words, Jeremy?
Yeah, dude. Follow us on Drip. We're doing a fire sale Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern. You're gonna want to check that out. A lot of cool stuff. There's stuff up available for pre-bid. We got the Disney breaks on ISO.GG.
Shout out Ivan.
Yep, shout out to Ivan. We have movies as cheap as like $2, and it's a fun, easy rip. We'll have some good Disney music in the background. You'll get like the rated GPG version of Courtney and I, which is a little different.
Yeah.
And I think I'd ultimately do a better job of keeping it clean than her.
That's true. 100% true.
You know what I mean? But so we've got that going on. Check out Dangerous Games. They've got Courtney's like really diving into that, and it's wild. I watched one of her things, and I forget who it was, but it was about some cult, and it was like pretty damn interesting. Like I couldn't consume it like a high level because I would get all weird in my head, but pretty good stuff.
Are you saying Courtney and Sarah are weird in their head?
I'm sorry, your internet cut out. You're able to draw whatever conclusion you want based on the things that were said.
Yeah.
I love Court. She's the greatest.
You said it. I didn't.
Hey, but... and here's the thing. We didn't do a live. We didn't wear tuxedo shirts. We didn't do any of that. This is officially year 2.
Year 2. It's our 1-year anniversary.
We're not even making a thing about it. Ain't no thing.
Yeah.
Ain't no thing.
Courtney. There's Courtney. Well, you said it. I didn't. But okay.
If you think about it, a year's worth of podcast episodes, and then like the months leading up to it, man, because you were still at Luca Nation.
Okay. Yeah.
You were. And then we were talking about it. We met and we were trying to make the thing happen. I called Cage and I said, "Hey man, you've got this this player I'd like to acquire." You know what I mean? And it was all good, and then it wasn't good, and now it's all good. So
yeah. He traded me for pennies.
I didn't give him any pennies.
Oh well, then it's worse.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about the journey that went into it, man, it's pretty wild.
It is, and it's you actually stuck around with me for a year, so I'm pretty happy about it. Last week you didn't know if you wanted to do this for another year.
No, man, I'm trying to get paid.
Yeah, there
Everybody
you go.
else is getting paid, man. Let me get paid.
Exactly.
Especially if I'm going to get attacked, let me get some money out of the damn thing. I'm trying to get some of that sponsorship bucks.
I'm about to get DFA'd.
Yeah, that's exactly, Jason. Exactly.
You know, we should try to.
I got hit with them tampering.
We need to hit Jason up and do their slacking on their DCI podcast and do a segment, and just have Jason pay us.
Why not?
There you go.
Dude, those people who got in early with Liv look like geniuses. All those people that held out look like fucking complete assholes.
Yeah.
Oof. Money plays out, man. Money plays out.
So, all right. Well, what do you want the people to do, Jeremy?
Smash! Woo!
You want people to smash?
I hope Don's in somewhere with his earphones, naked in a sauna, and I hope I just blew out his eardrum.
He just went from 6 to 12 off that one right there.
Like
so smash the like button, follow us on Thicc, follow Reckless Cards. Make sure you forgot Hobby Night School. Make sure to go watch Hobby Night School. Jeremy and Courtney are putting out some great content, great people. They had Nat Turner on, they had Jay on, they had Card, the dad, what's his name? Dad
Dustin.
Card. Yeah.
We got anybody big name in the hobby, we've got locked and loaded in the hopper.
Is that why you didn't have Jason? Is that why you told Jason that he's small and didn't have him yet?
No, I'm telling you, I think Kendall's going through the same thing right now. When somebody gets sick in our house, it's just a matter of time before it takes everybody out. And in that week, it took us all out. And I think Courtney caught it twice. She caught it on the front end. She bookended that bitch. She got it on the front end and got it on the back.
Hold on. Jason better not have asked Courtney before me. That's all I'm going to say. Jason was one of my first hobby friends, and if he did that, he's done for. He's dead to me.
Jason's my guy. We're going to get him on. I told him at the beginning. I told him, Court, that you're on the priority list, number 1 or number 2. I think it's like Michael Rubin and then Jason from DCI.
Yes, I like that. Michael Rubin.
Is he a guy?
I don't know.
You don't know who Michael Rubin is?
No, I know who Michael Rubin is. Well, follow us on Thicc.
You have no idea.
Yes, I do, fanatic. Shut up.
You are bad for the hobby. You shouldn't listen to this shit, man. If you listen, you've got problems, and you've probably been day drinking.
Yep, exactly. Day drinkers delight here. So, like I said, Hobby Night School, maybe a Manny, Reckless, Thicc. Hope you guys had a wonderful show. Hope you enjoyed your hobby release, and we will be back very shortly. And with that, we talk later. Peace.